The views and opinions expressed on this program do not reflect the company, owners, management, staff, clients, or partners.
It's Wednesday, the 24th day of August, 2022. Welcome to the Daily Hour, brought to you by Medical House One Communications and Lindos. I'm Jamal Hartman. She's Sancha Durham. And Leanna Lambert will be with us in a bit to bring you the latest in her news break, brought to you by People's Pharmacy. Sancha, I've got apple all in my mouth and my teeth. My apologies, but I had to try to eat it all before we came on. How you doing?
I'm good. Paws is over here barking, saying good morning to everyone.
You know, yesterday, Liana, she had a dog in the background. She's like, "Oh, I'm asking Phil and I, should I put him out or no? We love canines on the show. Well, let me put it like this: as long as I don't have to
deal with them,
their poop and take care of them, I'm good, man. I love me some dogs, Sancha.
Paws is such an old man. I don't even know why he's barking right now. Normally he's like silent, and I don't know, he got a bit of energy this morning.
I was about to say dogs don't bark just to bark. There's always a reason, but then there's Bella. There's Bella. Bella.
Who's Bella?
Bella's my parents' dog. She barks. If the trees are like blowing, she barks. So I'm not talking bad about you, Bella, because she takes it personal and put tail between legs. But I'm just saying she barks at every and anything. You moved slightly to the left, she's barking. So, but maybe Paul sees something. Yeah, maybe Paul sees something that we should be aware of. But
yeah.
Paul's is
So
aware.
how are you, Jamal?
I'm good. I'm good. Just stuffed my apple in. I think I need to go get some floss because got apple in my teeth, but you all can't see it.
Another one of Sherry's favorite days. What she say, hump day?
Yeah. Anything that gets us closer to Friday. Actually, there's a poll on Bermuda Communications LinkedIn page. If you were given a 4-day work week, which day would you choose to have that added day? Would it be Monday, Wednesday, or Friday? And I was shocked. I don't know how many people, but a few people say Wednesday, and I'm like, why would you want to split it? I don't know. Maybe people just want to break in between, but I'm just like, no, don't you want one to make a longer weekend? Like, I don't know. It was interesting, but I'm guaranteeing Sherry probably would have took a Friday.
Yeah.
Greetings, everyone. Thanks for making us part of your daily routine. A good one today as we welcome Robinson Perinchief on to discuss Future Leaders Bermuda. Very good program for young Bermudians. The Daily Play is a say it. Please don't sing it, Sancha. But Sancha, I tell you, the audience is going to get today is want to tell you.
Not me, but the audience.
See, I was trying to be nice. I mean,
listen, I told Jamal yesterday he is the master with wordplay.
Yeah,
touch him every time.
Yeah, it's today is one fun. I think you all are going to enjoy it today. You're going to enjoy it. But Sancha, we're going to have a conversation. A little discussion before the guests. Sancha, what are we talking about today?
We're talking about these airlines, these flights being cut.
Well, for those of you who don't know what Sancha's talking about, so just last week in the Royal Gazette, titled Skyport announces changes to some flight schedules. Now, I'm going to give context because I know you all think that I'm a bully and I pick on the BTA. Number one, I don't do bullying. I don't like the idea of bullying. And no, I do not pick on the Bermuda Tourism Authority. I do not pick on the government, but if they give us something to discuss that's in the interest of the public, let me repeat, if there's something that's worth a discussion that is in the best interest or interest of the general public, which is all of you, then we're going to discuss it. It's not about picking on anyone. Let me go further. So Skyport announced there will be some changes to flight schedules. Air service to Bermuda is scheduled to drop next month as services to Newark, Miami, and Azores all halt. United Airlines is set to end its seasonal service to Newark on September 6th, while American Airlines will temporarily suspend its daily service to Miami on the same date. A spokeswoman for Skyport said that the American Airlines is expected to resume direct service to Miami in November. However, the airline would offer expanded connectivity options out of its Charlotte and Philadelphia hubs. Meanwhile, the airline responsible for the flight to Azores is expected to end in September, with flights to resume in December. Then there's some other things, Air Canada as well, reducing its schedule and the like. Well, let me just preface this because I know you, well, let's go to the BTA response first. BTA responds, titled in the same Royal Gazette, Miami flight changes short-lived, says BTA. Flights to Miami are expected to return in the first week of November, according to Bermuda Tourism Authority. The BTA said that the American Airlines service to the city is scheduled to halt on September 6th. It is believed that the service will resume on November 3rd. Same as what the Skyport said, right? But they also go on to say, during this period, we will also take the opportunity to extend our advertising activities in key focus and nurture markets in line with the strategic aims laid out in our national tourism plan. The BTA will continue ongoing conversations with our airline partners to explore new opportunities and look forward to the scheduled return of daily flight service to our gateway cities. All right, so before we go to the question, Sancho, I'm sorry, I just got to give this as well. Got to give this because we try to be a bit fair, you know. So I'm on CNN, and I got world news over this side. Well, ABC World News is really American news, but they call it world news because the Americans are so arrogant they think it's the world. But anyway, CNN says American Airlines cutting 2% of September and October flights. American Airlines says it's cutting 2% of flights from its schedule in September and October. So this is in line, folks, with the Miami flight cutting until November, right? So let me just say that, because what I'm trying to do here is, I've said it before and I'll say it over and over and over. Flights to Bermuda are not about Bermudians. We don't have the people for them to fly to Bermuda just for Bermudians. The demand's not there, right? So it's not just a Bermuda problem, this, right? Now, it says American Coastal cuts proactive adjustments in order to size our airline for the resources we have available and to build additional buffer in the remainder of our summer schedule. And its hub in Philadelphia, American will cut hundreds of flights, roughly 3% of September flights scheduled and 5% in October. Airlines have been struggling with staff shortages, summer weather, and air traffic control delays as passengers are returning to pandemic-era travel in droves. Now, United Airlines cuts its schedule by 12% this summer at Newark International Airport. Folks, I only share this. Again, you know me. I don't make excuses for the Bermuda Tourism Authority, and I'm not making excuses for the airline, the government, anyone. But in order to have this conversation, we have to have additional facts, not just our opinions. I have my opinion. My flight to Bermuda on American Airlines from Miami, you all saw the pictures. It was empty. 40 people, it was empty. About 5 empty rows, right? I know Bermudians are upset. There's no direct flight to Miami for Carnival. Folks, if there was demand to Bermuda, that flight would be on. If there were not staff shortages, that flight would be on. But what we have to realize when it comes to stuff like this, and again, I am not making excuses here. I'm simply sharing the facts and the truth. So the question of the morning is, what's the question of the morning, Sandra? How do we feel about
yeah,
the cut in airline Airlift? Yeah, the airlift cut. Okay.
Jamal and I got so caught up in it. It was like, what's our question?
Tell them what I said to you last night, Sandra.
Well, Jamal and I were going back and forward, and I was reading articles about it, and I was like, wait, it's not just Bermuda, it's the whole, it's the world, and every single airline. And Jamal was like, we're going to talk about this tomorrow.
Yeah, I was like, Sandra, I'm gonna stop talking to you. I'm gonna stop responding because we got to talk about it on air.
Yeah, but from where I stand, as Jamal said, it's not just happening in Bermuda.
Mm-hmm.
This is happening, but we pulled up charts and was looking at how many were cut, and surprisingly enough, Southwest, the airline that no one wants to really fly, they're not cutting anything. Their business is good. But with that being said, which I don't know how I always get, this is going to be my motto moving forward. We need to create a product to create demand. So we are not high up on this list, and we are the first flights to be cut because we do not have a product where people are jumping up and down saying that they have to come to Bermuda. So the first flights that are going to be cut is Bermuda. Mm-hmm. And that's something that we need to take responsibility for. So, BTA is saying, oh, well, we're going to continue our marketing efforts. And what are you marketing? Please tell me what you're marketing. Because you can spend millions of dollars on marketing, but if you don't have a product to market, it's making no sense. Now, I know this is not the topic of the day, but Saturday, I go down to Maddox. My son Maddox was dancing at Bermuda Night, Made in Bermuda, it's called. Mm-hmm. Now, I remember a few years ago, pre-pandemic, it was on the island. It sold out to Bermudians. Mm-hmm. Not tourists, Bermudians. It's not the BTA's place to be putting on events for Bermudians. And we continue to take this budget and have parties for Bermudians. We're talking, and I know production, right? I do production. I am production. I know production. They had a 14-piece band on the stage. I walked down into the crowd and I'm like, let me see how many. Where were the tourists? Where is the effort to get the tourists? Yes, we're getting Bermudians working. Stop with that face, Jamal.
I'm doing just here,
We're getting Bermudians back to work, and I appreciate you, BTA, for that. But when we are getting Bermudians back to work, we need to get into the hotels. What tourists are there, even the Airbnbs, and get the tourists out to see these talents.
Well, let's bring it back a bit, but I agree, and I think it's all part of the same conversation because Traveling Trotty actually asked a question. She says Bermuda does not have the capacity load to negotiate for more flights. We are at the bottom of the bucket. Well, let's speak about that because I agree with Sancha. I think that. And I've said this for years, and instead of Bermuda throwing money at sales and marketing efforts, maybe, we need to, work on the BTA, the sales and marketing efforts, in my opinion, would be better spent trying to get developers in Bermuda. That's my opinion. Instead of getting groups and tourists in Bermuda, I think you need sales and marketing people to get developers there. Once you get developers into Bermuda, you get the right people in the room to convince them to build in Bermuda, to invest in Bermuda. Once, people ask me my plan and strategy for tourism all the time. I'm not giving sales and marketing advice anymore. You have to start from the root. You need developers, investors, right? Once you get development and investment, you then have the product, right? Once you have that product, right, you have somewhere for people to stay. Now, you involve the Bermudians, the culture. You have to have a piece of the culture involved. You figure out what works in other places. Elroy Smith said something last week, and this is how I operate. The amount of ideas that I brought back to Bermuda from when I worked in radio in the US, it wasn't me being genius. It was, how can I implement this in Bermuda? He said he would see what others are doing, not steal the ideas, but try to implement them in his own way and make it work. Bermuda needs to figure out what's working in other places and actually say, you know what, this may work for us. Maybe we can do that. Stop the conversation about sales and marketing. Let's get salespeople who can get developers and investors. Once you have the developers and investors in Bermuda, then we can talk about Bermuda nights and all this stuff. Because if the idea for the Bermuda Tourism Authority's mandate is to drive tourism, then why, as Sancha's saying, are all these Bermudians there? So back to the question, how do you feel about the cut in airlift to Bermuda? I actually think, going back to this, traveling trotty, it's justified in a way by the airlines, because at the end of the day, airlines are not here to make friends. They're here to make money, profit, and a lot of it. And if they feel like they can take a flight that they're spending big money on to send to Bermuda and send it to Cancun or Santo Domingo, right, and get it full and make more money, then that's what a business is going to do. So at the end of the day, it's not the end. It's not the end of the line for Bermuda. But I say this to, who's the tourism minister? There's a tourism minister guy. Whoever the tourism minister is, I'm sorry, because I mean, people just have titles in Bermuda. I don't know, if you all know what you do. But whoever the tourism minister is it the guy Campbell?
He came in with weeks, right? They came in at the same time.
Campbell. So what I would say to the tourism minister, right, is although you say that it's up to the chairman guy, Keynes, right? I think you all need to change your focus. You need to pull back, because what's the point of marketing a destination that doesn't have the beds, right? Doesn't have the guest rooms. I mean, those things should sell on their own. There's so little of them. Yeah. And the fact that they don't tells you how sad of a destination Bermuda is, comparatively speaking. So I'm of the Sancha, I'm of the mindset that the Bermuda Tourism Authority needs to shift focus to be successful. And that focus for the Bermuda Tourism Authority that will benefit Bermuda today, tomorrow, and for the rest of its existence is to focus on selling to developers and investors, not group and leisure. If you do that, that's the trajectory for the way forward. But right now, you've got salespeople who are focused on bringing people there. We don't need people right now. We need investors and developers. Free advice. Free advice.
Let's and you also need to have, as I said before, people in the room like Ewart Brown, who used to negotiate flights back then. You know,
there's no doubt we need people with the know-how in the room.
Skills.
Yeah, we need people with the know-how in the room. Michelle White says product is the old age question. If we don't have a product, airlines don't have to commit to Bermuda. It's simple as that. What happens to people who pre-plan their travel, then the airlines cut travel. Well, I thought about that because I didn't know that. I said the other night, I'm like, hold on. Airlines can just cut flights if people have booked out. And I said, yeah, they can, but I don't know. I don't have that answer. What happens? Never happened to me. Michelle White, Traveling Trotty says, Sancha, just like Raft Up, why is the BTA sponsoring such events? Don't get Sancha. You know what? Go ahead, Sancha. Go ahead. You all don't know. Go ahead, Sancha. Go ahead.
Traveling Trotty must be in our group chats. Mm-hmm. This is a sore topic for me. Why are we taking things that already go on in Bermuda and throwing money at them to commercialize them? For what? You know, BTA is talking about we're doing raft ups in Bermuda. What? We do raft ups every week. If there's a tourist that wants to come to an authentic raft up, they will make their way there. And we are such hospitable people, we will be like, come get on our boat. But for you to take this and make this your own and have a barge with a DJ that comes out, and do you know how many boats get in trouble for actually playing music out at the lakes? How many police, but now BTA comes through and, oh, this is a great thing. What? Can some of the BTA please answer why are we doing this?
Well, you know, Sancha, the answers are there. You know, they have this thing, bless those who still listen to radio, which is probably most Bermudians, because at this point, Bermudians just haven't advanced onto things like this streaming. But I'll say this much. The interim one was on a show last week, tourism show, and Tashay Thompson, VP of something at the BTA, good friend there, she's on one today. But see, someone says to me, oh, you should have the interim one on here. Look, our doors are wide open. At the end of the day, Premier, whoever, you're going to get some respect when you come on the show. This show isn't about Jamel Hartman or Sandra Durham. This is about the audience. So if you want to come on, feel free. It's an open invite to come on, have a conversation about whatever you want. What we're not going to do, as you may have seen with the Premier, Mr. David E. Burt or E. David Burt, whatever, however he puts his initials, is you're not going to get on here and take control and lie outright to our audience.
Yeah.
You're not going to BS our audience. Yeah. But you are more than welcome to come on and have a conversation with us regarding what it is you do. Shanna Smith says, I agree, Sancha. I walked past the event, wasn't a big turnout, and saw loads of tourists walking by. I too questioned when marketing and advertising was done at the hotels. This important question. Traveling Truddy, she's just starting trouble this morning. She says, Jamel, when is South P opening? Well, let me say this. If I'm not mistaken, there was an article, and folks, correct me if I'm wrong, I believe that, and I stand corrected. I believe it was supposed to be August 2022, opening August 2023. But then I saw something by someone from Fremont, Southampton saying it will be, renovations will begin in December last week. So,
but Jamal, this is like slightly moving away from the South P topic. But if you look at what the efforts that tourism or BTA has done this summer, the two efforts that have come towards the end of the summer, when summer is pretty much over, it's the Raft Up and Bermuda Nights, Made in Bermuda. These two efforts. And I'm just like, first of all, it's old, it's stale, it's been done. Where is new initiatives? Where's the new ideas? It's not making sense to me. And why so late? In the beginning of summer, we have someone that came out and was like, oh, we have all these people have stepped up to the plate, all these new initiatives, and BTA is supporting it and it's behind it. All I've seen is Cot Match, Raft Up, and Made in Bermuda.
Let me just, to your point, I don't believe that the Bermuda Tourism Authority should be sponsoring Cot Match. I don't think they should be sponsoring any local event. If anything, and I felt this way when I was a part of the Bermuda Tourism Authority. The Bermuda Tourism Authority should not be focused on sponsoring local events. For those events, that should be the Department of Culture. Department of Culture, they're responsible for promoting the culture and the local events. I put a post the other day about the city of Hamilton. The city of Hamilton is they are basically an example of how an organization should work in Bermuda, whether that's government or a quango like the Bermuda Tourism Authority. And I give props to everyone around there. I think from the mayor to the CEO, Mayor Goslin, CEO Dwayne Keynes, to Jessica Oswood and her team, Sadea, and all of them. They have done a phenomenal job, and they get it. Taste of Bermuda. They get it. They get it. They get it.
And I have to say this, since Jessica, Jessica and I are like.
Well, let's go quickly, just because we got some comments in the honor.
Since Jessica has gone over to City of Hamilton, it is operating in the way in which it should. So good talent creates good product.
And folks, you may not know her, but you know what they're doing. You're benefiting. Rick Olson real quickly says, spending money to spend money, no real plan. Again, if we want to fix Bermuda tourism, I'm giving this advice for free. I'm not sending no checks, no invoices, right?
I'm going to send it.
If you want to fix Bermuda tourism, change your focus. I'm not saying get rid of the sales and marketing people you have now, but you need to retrain them to focus on getting developers and investment in Bermuda. That's the way it's going to work. One last comment. Rosalind Famous says, sorry for the basic question. Is it that developers and investors would be to buy land and create hotels? The purpose for developers and investors would be for them to pretty much, you see Morgan's point?
I was just going to say that.
That's
just going to say Morgan's point.
That's one. And it's not a basic question. It's I'm sorry because I didn't explain what I meant. But you need developers and investors to really get in and start building Bermuda up to get Bermuda where it needs to be. There's opportunity. No, we don't have any open land, but we have properties that can be turned into stuff. We have opportunities, and that's what Bermuda needs. Yeah. All right, let's bring in Liana, see what Liana's thinking. Good morning, Lee. How are you?
Morning, guys. You know what? It's a good morning despite the days of moving like a snail pace these days. I can't move quick anymore. Jamal's like, Liana, where are you? I'm here. I promise you, I'm here.
You got your water on these days, Lee?
I got my water on. This penguin dance I got going on is.
I saw Lee on Saturday. She is so cute though.
For my last, so that was my last outing probably.
She's like walking behind her partner, but she's like trying to catch up a little bit. Trying to catch up. And I'm like, Mommy. And she's like,
take pictures if you see it. We gotta have some video and photo evidence of this stuff. We got some evidence. But folks, we have Ryan Robinson Perinchief coming up, future leaders. Lee, you ready for the news break?
Yeah, let's do this.
All right, over to you.
Maddie.
Thanks, Jamal and Sancha. And good morning and happy hump day to all of those that are tuned in with us today. I hope you all are having a great start to this midweek day. I'm Liana Lambert, and it's time for the Daily Hour News Break, brought to you by People's Pharmacy. In today's top stories, police have confirmed that 2 more people have been arrested in connection with the stabbing murder of Marcus Wilson, which took place over the weekend. Now, to date, there are now 4 men in custody. Inquiries are continuing, and police continue their appeal for witnesses to the altercation that took place at a residence on Aswad Walk in Warwick Parish shortly after 8 p.m. on Saturday, August 20th. Now, in addition to witnesses, the BPS is appealing to residents who may have any CCTV footage and live on South Shore Road in Warwick, in the area of the Warwick Shell gas station to make contact with them. Now, the information they say that you provide may be relevant to their lines of inquiry, and what might be insignificant to you is what makes the biggest difference in solving this murder investigation and other inquiries that are active. In other news, the chief executive of the regulatory authority has offered his resignation to move to the next phase of his career. Now, the news that Denton Williams will be departing from the role comes as the telecommunications and electricity watchdog considers taking legal action against electricity utility Belco over an ongoing dispute concerning soot emissions. Now, Belco continues and has denied that the RA's claims that it misled the public over the cause of the emissions continue. Mr. Williams, who is said to have tendered his resignation several weeks ago, is the former senior vice president of Ascendant and chief operating officer at Belco, and was appointed the RA's CEO on January 7th back in 2019. Now, he is the 4th to hold the substantive role of CEO since the RA was established in 2011. And there will likely be a brief outage of online government services between this evening and tomorrow morning due to scheduled maintenance. Now, the Department of Information and Digital Technologies has advised that a scheduled maintenance will occur between 7 p.m. this evening and 3 a.m. tomorrow morning to government online services. Now, as a result, there will be likely a brief outage of about 5 minutes of online government services between this time frame. The Department of IDT expects any impact to be minimal and apologizes in advance for any inconvenience caused while this important service works are undertaken. Taking a look at today's weather, we have a high near 88 and a low near 79 degrees. A slightly cloudy start to the morning, but we can expect a few showers this morning. However, skies turn brighter later today and increasing near southerly winds. Now, conditions remain unsettled until the end of the week when high pressure builds in from the east. That's all for our Daily Hour News Break, brought to you by People's Pharmacy. Now let's head back to Jamal and Sancha in the studio for today's Daily Focus.
Yeah, folks, I know you're all word about Maddox and whatnot. But Sancha, I'm gonna say it on air so everyone knows. Sherry, Sancha, Phil, until Liana begins talking, you're not muted. Until Liana starts talking, you're not muted.
I was like,
Everything the audience is gonna hear, Maddox in trouble. All right.
Maddox,
He wasn't in trouble. He was
All
in
right.
trouble.
They were. They're like, oh my goodness, Maddox.
Oh gosh.
I had to shout loud enough because he was on my side saying, Mommy, I need to talk to you quickly. And I was like, during the news break, I will call you. So I shouted like, Maddox, you can talk to me now.
Hey,
I love it.
This is
Honestly, I'm getting Parenting 101 right now on the show. Like, it's Parenting 101. I love it, Sancha. Please keep it up because it's an eye opener of what's to come.
But my mic says mute, right?
No.
I look down.
It Source says it during the break. So when a commercial's, we'll talk about that later. The audience doesn't. Anyway, dance of the year, Sancha.
Sorry, audience. Anyway, today is International Strange Music Day. For those who have a tendency to lean towards unique and bizarre music, this is one day that will feed that strange musical soul. International Strange Music Day pulls out all the stops when it comes to going beyond normal and opening up a world of new horizons. When it comes to the strange part, this can mean either unfamiliar or bizarre or both. The choice is entirely personal and up to the individual. In either case, International Strange Music Day is meant to expand the ear towards new sounds.
I want to know a song that's
Question.
considered strange.
Question.
What's your question?
What's an example of strange music?
Exactly. That's what I want to. I mean,
okay. Same.
Is my singing considered strange music?
Yes.
Wow.
But what type of music do you like? What do you typically listen to?
Stuff that comes on the radio.
If you're in your house,
live music. Are we talking genres or what are we talking about?
What genre of music?
A wide range. I love a good variety. I don't, discriminate. I'll listen to country. I would listen to R&B. I'll listen to rap, reggae. I'm all over the place.
You young people listen to all that bunga bunga, as that lady said, and Madge just listen.
Oh my God. Stop showing your age.
I'm an old soul. I don't know why I listen to like just old school music on a regular basis. Like I'm such an old soul.
But Mark Phillips says, according to Jamel, strange music is any rap song by Little.
He doesn't even know who Little Yachty is.
I was about to say that. I know his name, but if a picture came up, I
wouldn't know who he is.
I couldn't say that's him.
So I stopped actually learning rappers' names, I think, after Fatty Wap came out, the one with the eye. After that, it was like, I'm done. I refuse to learn.
Everybody has a little.
I would like to hold you guys over, but Lee, we got to exit you because we got a guest waiting. Sorry to do this, but before you go, can you just admit that heavy metal music is strange to you both? That's the one genre I can't do.
It's different. And it's okay.
But I understand it.
Yeah. Like I know it appeals to a certain crowd and audience and whatnot. It's not something I could listen to though. No.
Yeah, give me a headache. Lee, thank you so much. Waddle yourself away, girl.
I'm waddling off.
Folks. Have a great day, Lee. All right, folks. Let us know what's strange to you. What music is strange to you? We'll come back after the break. But I started my career really after Radio Disney. I was at a country radio station. I was a morning show producer at a country radio station. I would consider myself well versed in understanding different genres. Heavy metal would probably be one genre I just can't. I can do classical, bluegrass.
But I feel like country music is a whole conversation because you know where they say country music comes from. And
it's a different kind of thing. I mean,
conversation.
But yeah, there's a difference between country, western, and then pop country. But look, let's take a break. We've got a guest waiting in the background. Ryan Robinson Perinchief. Don't want to miss this conversation, folks. Ryan's been on this show before. If you know him, you get him, you like him, you love him. Stick with us. He'll be with us.
People's ACW, located at King Edward VII Memorial Hospital, carries over-the-counter medicines, toys, cards, and even toiletries. Our knowledgeable staff are there whether you're at emergency, visiting family, or a member of BHB staff, to show you our best even when you're feeling your worst. People's ACW, we're here for you.
Hi, I'm Karen, a nurse at the old folks home. These long hours used to kill my feet until my hairdresser told me about a great place to buy a pair of clogs. Medical House. Finally, relief. They also carry uniforms in bright, bold colors. And not to mention the support stockings.
Karen, Miss Salter's bet her bet again.
Oh gosh, these days, I need all the support I can get.
Medical House has relocated next to the Dendy Town Field, number 6 Bakery Lane, Pembroke.
Welcome to the new bulk store, Lindo's Next Level. Wake up in the morning with enough coffee to keep you running throughout the entire day. Your pet at home deserves the best. Stock up on dog food to keep your puppy happy. Need a quick, tasty lunch at home? Your chicken nuggets will be jumping right out of the freezer. What's a movie night without popcorn? You can never have too much. Lindo's Next Level. Why go anyplace else?
Alrighty, welcome back to the big show, Central Durham. I'm Jamal Hartman. It's the Daily Hour brought to you by Medical House One Communications, Lindo's, and People's Pharmacy. If you haven't already, make sure you're subscribed on our website. Go to our website, thedailyhour.com, subscribe so that you don't miss a chance for updates, promotions, prizes, and more. Also, if you're on the go and can't watch, that's okay. Download the BCG Radio app, available for both Android and Apple devices. You can listen to us every single time we go live. If you're watching on YouTube, make sure you subscribe right now. Just hit subscribe and the notification bell so that you get notified every time we have cool people like our guest today, Ryan Robinson Perinchief, coming through. Let's bring Ryan into the show. Good morning, good brother. How are you?
Good morning, Jamal. Good morning, Sancha. I'm good, thanks. Hope all's well with you.
Good morning.
Yeah, man, we're good. We're good. Sancha just on the show starting trouble, telling people the music straight. Actually, before we get into the conversation with you, we're going to ask you. We've gotten some of the answers. It's Strange Music Day, right? So some of the answers we've got is, what's drill?
I don't even know what type of music that is. Drill.
Well, okay, drill
is like the gangster rap, like what you hear in the UK and some of it in the US too now.
Okay, yes, he said that. And Karen said, hey, man, brother, he's much younger than us, you know. Karen Simmons says heavy metal and techno. And then Renee Simmons says futuristic music is strange to me. What would you consider strange, or are you just open to everything?
I mean, I listen to a wide variety of music, but I guess it's kind of relational, right? I mean, strange music is probably for us what we're not really used to hearing. And I think for me, that's probably... I listen to Amapiano. I don't know if that's really caught on in Bermuda yet. It's like coming out of South Africa. It's like, if you know, like African house music, but it's got like a piano vibe to it. And then a little bit of Brazilian music too, like bossa nova, samba. That's probably like more old school, but I don't think Bermudians would know what that is too much.
We're learning something today. Strange music. We are learning. Ryan, thank you so much for coming by. Obviously, you are doing so much, and you know, there's so many different things we can have you on for. But we wanted to discuss future leaders, and for those who don't know what future leaders is, just explain what it is and where the idea for it came from.
Sure. So Future Leaders Bermuda is a community organization and a registered charity now. That is focused on empowering the next generation of future leaders. So it's pretty much in the name, but we started out in 2017 as essentially a social justice camp. So we took 17 students and we were up at Berkeley, and for 3 weeks they did intensive study, community service, discussions around sort of community issues and leadership and exploring their identity. And from there it sort of grew. So now we have sort of an annual mentorship program. We've taken trips overseas for study abroad. We've hosted groups here. So it's grown really into sort of an empowerment organization. But I think the key element is empowerment and mentorship as far as, you know, raising the next generation to think deeply and critically about their community and themselves, really.
So what sparked the need for a program such as this?
Yeah, so I mean, I always felt that a lot of young people in Bermuda were not aware of the issues, or you know, we know the issues, but we don't understand it. And so I always wanted to do something around it. I came from a political background. I felt like I had a pretty decent grasp of some of the causes of the issues, but it means nothing unless other people understand it too, right? And so the idea actually came around sort of after we had the Bermuda pepper spray incident in December, I think 2016. And I was in England at the time, and I was in law school, and I just felt like I kind of felt guilty because you had all those seniors up there that were involved. There weren't too many young people, and I'm like, these old timers are out there still kicking, and a lot of young people didn't even really know or understand what was going on. And so I think that's sort of where the idea sparked, and I just said I have to do something to help contribute and help raise awareness and raise the consciousness of our young people.
So what are some of the objectives for the program?
Sure. So, I mean, vaguely speaking, in our logo, we have service, study, mentoring, and empowerment. And I think that's a pretty good summary of the different elements of the program, community service and making sure we're serving the community, but also understanding that charity as relief is not the solution to our problems, right? Without structural and systemic change. And so that's where the study comes in and the empowerment. It's about understanding the issues. And once we have an awareness and we understand a little bit about the root causes, then we feel like we have power over the situation rather than it having power over us. And so that's sort of the focus, a mix of different activities that come together to provide sort of a holistic experience.
Okay, so is there a criteria that the participants have to meet in order to be a part of the program? And is there a set criteria that they have to meet in order to complete the program?
Yeah, good question. So we do an intake every year around Easter for our sort of summer intensive induction program. And I guess the answer is it's a bit 50-50. So we take around, let's say, 20 students. Half of those students are nominated from the school. And the only criteria we give them is we say, select or nominate a student that you think is either an identified leader or has the potential for leadership. And we want it to be a bit broad in that way because you have some young people that maybe are figuring themselves out and could just use a bit of a boost, right? Or being around other young leaders. And then the other half of the group are just taken from the public. So we open up registration. It's a blank slate. We don't have any criteria for that. But when we're oversubscribed, we normally sort of limit it by age. We'll take the older students who wouldn't otherwise have the chance. But the general idea is, any young person should be able to come through the program and walk out feeling like they've learned something. So to complete the program, after the 3 weeks, we don't give them any test or anything, but their real test is they actually have to present what they've learned to their parents and the audience in the form of a closing ceremony. So they often, memorize, or they don't even have to use too many notes, but the 3 weeks of all the activities and experiences and things that they've learned, they go and pick up the microphone and they have to sort of teach that back to the audience. And that is the criteria for completion.
That's awesome. So one of the reasons I love being on the Daily Hour is that I'm constantly learning. And admittedly, I had never heard of this program. So I was looking through the Instagram page and I was extremely impressed. How do you choose mentors for the program? How do you figure out who's right, to mentor these kids?
Yeah, thank you for that. A lot of people are still learning about what we do, and we try to just start and grow organically. And I think that's probably a good answer to your question around how we get mentors as well. So, for the actual summer program, it started with myself and a public school teacher. We now have a lady by the name of Tanisha Key Holmes, who is our teacher. And so we are sort of the ones that work with the students throughout the 3 weeks. And then you have different activities that we fit in throughout the 3 weeks where different people come in, right? And so the way that we decide that is we start with the actual curriculum. So as part of these 3 weeks, we have a whole binder full of material, different articles, different topics, different reports, different lesson plans. And, there's 7 different topics. And for each topic, we sort of just look out in the community and see, who is in this space that is doing something that aligns with, the key lessons that we want the students to learn. And so we've had some that have come and they come every year and participate. Former senior magistrate who's now a preemie judge, Warren Wolf has come every year. We go to drug treatment court, or we'll go to one of the court cases. He'll talk a little bit about the justice system, for example. We've had Lynn Winfield from CURB and other persons from Citizens Uprooting Racism in Bermuda who come in and give a little bit of the history. So that's one example. And then with the monthly mentorship program, we look at the different topics that we want to learn. And oftentimes people approach us and they just say, hey, do you think your students could use guided meditation sessions? And we say, sure. And we fit them in that way. But overall, I would say there are a lot of positive people out there in the community who have seen what we do and just reach out and say, hey, do you think people could use this? And we say, sure, come on board. And we introduce them in that way.
Nice. After successfully being inducted into the Future Leaders program, I read that Future Leaders gain access to overseas partnerships. Explain how it works and how participants benefit from this.
Sure. So this is something that's still growing, right? Because, when we started the organization, this isn't something that we actually had thought about. So it's sort of snowballed. But after 2 years of doing the program, the United States Consulate General actually connected us with a school called Brandon Hall in the United States. And they have a summer program where students can go for 3 weeks and live on campus. And so that's sort of an opportunity that came to us. And we've done 2 trips now as of this year, where students can, after having done the summer program in Bermuda, have the chance to apply and do their program out there. And the aim of that is, they're getting sort of some exposure to living by themselves independently at a young age, but also they're learning about different projects and ideas and values that they have and turning that into something. So students have come back from that and developed all sorts of different programs. We have, for example, one future leader, Mackenzie Cole-Tuckett, who's launched a project called Girl Empower. And that was something that she developed while she was at Brandon Hall. Another young student, Jaden Ferber Jacobs, started Ocean 441, where he had the idea to do different beach cleanups. So that study abroad trip gave them the space to think about it, and then they came back and were able to implement it. And there are all sorts of other students that are working on different things, but we like to use that study abroad opportunity as a springboard.
Awesome. So after listening to this conversation, I'm sure there's a lot of people that will want to contact you and get involved. I know me, I'm like, I want my niece to be involved. How do I get involved? You know what I mean? How can people do this? How can they contact you? How can they be involved?
Sure. So I think the starting point is our website. If people go to futureleaders.bm, they can see there's a tab there to join our mailing list, and they'll be able to stay updated on all the different projects and activities and things that we're doing. Even when they sign up to that mailing list, you can select an option of, I want to get involved, or I want to register someone for next time, or I just want to stay updated. And so definitely through, the website, they can get that information. They can see our strategic vision, some of our upcoming plans. But like you said, Sancha, we also have Instagram and Twitter and on Facebook and things like that. So people can always reach out to those pages or reach out to me direct.
We've got some questions and comments in the audience. Folks, if you have any questions or comments for Ryan, please feel free to send them through. Just going through this again, Karen Simmons just wrote, what is the age bracket enrollment/registration parameters for the Future Leaders?
Yeah, thank you, Karen. So we normally say around ages 13 to 17. We try not to keep it too strict. We didn't want to exclude students if, they would benefit. But we're finding that when we do get oversubscribed, we tend to select the older students because, if you're 13 and the whole program is full, you have a chance next year to apply again. So sometimes students end up waiting a bit. But 13 to 18, and those are the only parameters. Other than that, we don't restrict, we don't screen. Everybody comes in with a blank slate.
Interesting. Nachika Trot, she says, I've watched this program since its inception, and it has grown to be a phenomenal program for students. Keep up the great work. Well, I mean, you said 2016 kind of came up with the idea. In 5 years, I mean, the great thing or the bad thing is we all grow older, right? Where do you see this program? Once you're in a different space and, passing it along, where do you see it? How do you see it? We've seen so many programs kind of fall off, but how do you keep it going?
Yeah, I mean, that's not my question to answer. That's something that I actually put to the Future Leaders. We have, I think, 86 students who have come through the program now. So 86 Future Leaders. And for me, the program fails if those future leaders don't feel like they're equipped to take my spot, you know. And that's something I say to my team. We have a team of 7 amazing people. And for each one of them, it's something that from the very beginning, we discuss among each other. And we say, listen, within the next year, we want at least 2 future leaders shadowing every role that we have. So when you ask sort of where it's going, we do have our strategic objectives on our website, and it's 3 of those. 1 is developing future leaders, 2 is expanding global partnerships, and the 3rd one is fostering community and civic duty amongst the wider public. So those are sort of the things that we're working towards from a program level. But as far as the organization, it's definitely something where the next few years have to be about the next generation coming and taking my spot, because when I started the program, I was 21, and now I'm, pushing 25, 26 years old. So I'm getting older, and the students that come into the program, they're still between 13 and 18, So in another few years, I'll be a whole decade out of touch with them. So it's important that, the rest of them come along.
You just made about 90% of this audience feels so old just now. But
you just made me feel like, oh my God.
And COVID doesn't help, right? Because we lost like 3 years of just this time warp. So I'm definitely feeling it too.
Yeah, we did. Maya Palacio, she's asking, hey Ryan, will you be putting on the back to school gathering again?
So what Maya's talking about is last year we had a back to school community give back, and we used Barclay Field. We bought, I think, 500 school bags and school supplies. We had a vendors market. We had different workshops. Family Center came. We had live entertainment, and it was a beautiful event. But no, Maya, we won't be doing that again. I think there are other organizations out there that are well equipped to provide relief in that way. But our team decided we wanted to do a one-off event just to thank the community for the support over COVID. We continue to get donations. A lot of people, especially with things like the Black Lives Matter movement, had reached out, and we were okay during COVID, despite not reaching out and asking for donations, because we wanted to push that to things like Salvation Army and other groups that were providing immediate relief. But we decided that was a one-time thing just to thank the community. But our efforts are better, focused elsewhere, and we're more efficiently used doing other activities.
Alrighty. Ryan, thank you so much. This has been an awesome, informative conversation, timely conversation as well. I wouldn't be me if I didn't go here, but
go for it.
we just had a conversation yesterday about the community and the violence in our community. And I know Sancha asked you about the need for a program, but when you see how what's going on with young people, mainly all black males, right? Whether it's road deaths or violence, how much more motivated are you to ensure that this program is successful?
Honestly, Jamal, I feel like I'm fighting for my life. I recently moved back to Bermuda permanently. It wasn't a tough decision, but being here is tough. It's very tough when you, as a young person, amidst a generation who are running out of the country, and you feel like you're here trying like hell, excuse my language, but to try and motivate the next generation. It was already tough before COVID. Now we have, economic hardship. It's tough, man. But, I wouldn't be here if I wasn't hopeful and optimistic about the future. So, to answer your question, I think it's not going to get easier in the short term. It's very difficult for those of us who are out here trying to support and trying to uplift the community while also taking care of our personal lives. But I'm very grateful that I have a really good team around me. I have a strong support system. There are a lot of other people like you and Sancha in the community who are doing your part. So it's scary, but I think we just have to continue to press on, because nothing's guaranteed, right? The positive or the negative. So we are that decisive factor. And that's what we try and teach to the future leaders. The future is in your hands. And I have to definitely constantly tell myself that as well.
All right. Ryan, thank you to you, your team, the people who are backing you, your sponsors. This program is phenomenal. I know personally relatives who have been a part of it. I've heard nothing but good things. So can't thank you enough. And please know that should any of your team or young people want to come on this platform to engage with our audience, you are more than welcome. This is our platform. It's your platform. It's a community platform. So thank you. And let's keep in touch.
I love that, Jamal, and thank you very much for the invitation. It's always a pleasure. My second time on the show, but it's good to see you growing. So thank you for the invite, Jamal. Thank you very much, Sancha, and thanks to everyone for your continued support.
Absolutely. Appreciate it. Talk soon, Ryan. All right, folks. Ryan Robinson, Perinchief. If you appreciated that conversation, found it helpful, give us a thumbs up, a love, a like. Please share these conversations. I'm gonna tell you, I reach out to Ryan. I talk to Ryan a lot, and when I say a lot, outside TDH crew, I probably speak to people like once a month. But I do that because I admire the work that he does. I admire. He doesn't have to. He doesn't have to. He could focus on his law career and just go and be like a lot of other legal people, be in the newspaper, passing the bar, and just focus on their career. I admire this young guy. I admire him for taking on something in a time when young people are going astray. Not all of them, but a significant amount, enough to take over our daily news. So thank you to Ryan. Thumbs up.
Can I say this quickly?
Go ahead.
As a mother of a young Black male, Ryan just gave me so much hope and made me so proud.
Oh, yeah.
Like, I've never met him, never had a conversation with him. And he just made me super proud. I'm like, this young Black male is phenomenal.
No, he's good people, folks. He is good people. Share that conversation. Love it. Give us a thumbs up, folks. We want more conversations like this. Stick with us. We're going to take a quick break, come back, daily play, wrap it up, daily inspiration.
A lot happens around your home. That is why at One Communications, we have introduced affordable security and video monitoring, because everyone should be able to afford to protect their family. Anytime, from anywhere, One Home Security keeps you connected and puts security in your hands with an easy-to-use smartphone app to control everything. Home security is important to keep you and your family safe. Motion-activated cameras around your home and security monitoring within create a complete security system providing protection both inside and outside your home. Professional monitoring means that there's someone on call with 24/7 protection to notify the authorities and help keep you and your loved ones safe. We are dedicated to whole home protection with indoor and outdoor cameras, smart door locks, motion sensors, and more, so you'll always be connected to what matters most. With professional installation, no upfront hardware fees, and low monthly rates, because keeping your family safe should be affordable for everyone. Total home video monitoring and security, there's no better way to protect your home than with One Home Security.
I'm part of the SSCP, giving us opportunities to go out and sell, which is what I'm doing today.
One of the most important things I learned in the SSCP is that failure is just a part of being an entrepreneur.
As a vocal community, then you can't go anywhere, can you?
I just believe it's a really beautiful and amazing experience for everybody.
A lot of late nights being up, trying to finalize things, especially for me.
You don't have to do everything at once. Little steps is the key to success.
They helped me go through every step of the way.
It has helped me gain more confidence, so that's one thing.
I'm Marley Spriggs and I am an entrepreneur.
My name is Joshua Allen and I am an entrepreneur.
My name is Trey Robinson Richards and I am an entrepreneur.
My name is Namira Rayner and I am an entrepreneur.
My name is Vincent Darrell and I am an entrepreneur.
I'm Shayla Swan and I'm an entrepreneur.
I am Sophia Paxenhan. I am an entrepreneur.
My name is Zion and I'm a young entrepreneur.
All right. Thanks again to Ryan Robinson Perinchief. Folks, again, if you appreciated that conversation with Ryan, give us a thumbs up, a love, a like. She sent you Durham Benjamin Harp. And thanks again to One Communications, Lindo's People's Pharmacy and Medical House. It's the Daily Hour. It's time for the Daily Play. Brought to you by Heineken 0.0. Great taste, no alcohol, and Bermuda Trivia. Now available at various locations throughout the island. Follow Bermuda Trivia on Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, and TikTok to find out why it's Bermuda's favorite trivia game. Folks, answer this question. Yes or no? Have you purchased your Bermuda Trivia deck yet? Have you purchased yours? So, Sancha, are you ready?
I'm ready.
She's ready. She's confident.
Not confident, but ready.
She's not. You sounded confident. All right, folks. I said the audience will get this one. Do not let us down. Here we go. It's a say it, don't sing it. So what song do these lyrics belong to? Quote, Sometimes I love you. Sometimes you make me blue. Sometimes I feel good. At times I feel used. Loving you, darling, makes me so confused.
Alicia Keys.
Wow. I forgot to start the music. See. Can I start the music next time?
I close my eyes and yeah, Alicia Keys.
What's the name of that song? Oh, here we go.
I can't remember the name of the song, but it's Alicia Keys.
I keep on
Falling in love.
There we go. There we go. It's Alicia Keys. It's Alicia Keys. She got it, folks. She got it. Anyway, we'll give it to her. We'll give it. I was shocked she got it. She got it. Look. Yeah, yes. Stacey Ann Brown. You getting some props? Yeah, she was on form. She clears high. She thought. She was like,
I was like, I'm getting this today.
Don't diss me. Act like the audience we get. I'm not. Anyway, final thoughts on today's show, Sancho. What are your thoughts?
Good time today, Jamal. I've had a really good time today. I mean,
I don't know. She don't enjoy it all the times, folks. I don't know.
No, I always enjoy it. I do, but today has been a good one for me. I feel like we said all we can say about the BTA. We continue, it is what it is at this point. And as we said, in the defense, it's not just Bermuda that's losing flights. This is happening worldwide. But let's please understand that we're not one of the first destinations that they're going to put flights to. So we need to work in order to change that. Speaking to Ryan today, as I said, just made me feel like a proud mama. I don't even know him, but it gave me hope for our young Black man. We're always quick to talk about how do we make things better and, the bad things that happen. And this person was murdered and this person's arrested and these drugs and guns. And, it was so refreshing to speak to him today. And even going onto the Instagram, if you have not been onto their Instagram, I urge everyone to go onto their Instagram. And I was on there probably for about 45 minutes, just poking around, looking at all the videos. And I was like, this is amazing. So, Ryan, I don't know you, but I'm proud of you.
There you have it. As far as the BTA and the airlift and the airport and Bermuda as a destination, like I said, I'll just repeat what I said earlier. One, I think we need to understand this is not a Bermuda problem in terms of airlift. Airlines, as stated, Americans cutting 2% in September and October. So Bermuda's just another destination being impacted. Two, the Bermuda Tourism Authority needs to shift focus. They need to focus on their sales and marketing efforts on development and investment rather than people. That's just my personal opinion. But what do I know? As far as Ryan, I'll repeat what I said again about him. Breath of fresh air and a welcoming conversation with a person in a time when Black males are gunning people down, being gunned down, and pretty much being lost at alarming rates.
Yes.
Sanchi, you've got some daily inspiration for us?
I do.
Hold up. Somebody else giving you props for thank you, Brock, because she don't
listening today.
Yeah, you don't need daily inspiration today. You got it. Everybody else does.
So a life spent making mistakes is not only more honorable, but more useful than a life spent doing nothing. So
yeah,
remember that.
So that doesn't mean be a living mistake or walking.
But you know what? Let me tell you something. From a young age, Jamal, my dad has instilled in me, don't be afraid to fail. Don't be afraid to make mistakes. And I think that's why I just go through life like, I'm going to do it. I've never been afraid to fail, ever. So.
I think if you're a successful entrepreneur, you failed.
Mm-hmm.
I think you failed. If you've been able to be successful in your version of success, you can. All right, it's time to get out of here. Gee. Hopefully Maddox is cool. Thanks again to our partners, Medical House, One Communications, Lindo's, and People's Pharmacy for ensuring that we're able to do this with you on a daily basis. As always, we appreciate you. We love you. And we thank you for making us part of your daily routine. If all goes well, we'll be back to do this again with you tomorrow. She sent your dorm. I'm Jamal Hartman, my friends. Make it a safe and great day. Maddox is cool, folks. I'm just joking.
My aunt said that. She's like, everyone's concerned for Maddox. Maddox is fine. I'm going to see him next time. I'm going to like, peek your head over Maddox.
See you all tomorrow. Later.